And welcome back to Inane Blather, the only podcast on the internet completely centered around political struggles of the Chilean peoples of the 19th century. I hope you've all been keeping up. When
there will be a test.
Yeah.
That's it. That's jail.
Oh, shoot. I need to change something while I'm recording here. This is great. I love it. Great content. I can't do it while I'm recording. Oh, my God.
I just want to read this little quote from Tucker Carlson.
Okay,
that says, if my brother committed a mass murder, I would not criticize him in public. Then this was in response to his brother saying
committing
about
a mass
spokesperson.
murder?
No, a spokesperson, for whoever, doesn't matter. No chance has this girl ever had a pearl necklace. Spooge neck? I don't think so. More like labia face. His brother sent that in an accidentally all reply email to all of these people.
It is crazy to me how people still reply all this stuff. I don't get it. It happens at work all the time. And I'm like, I don't care. Why? No one cares. Yeah. Don't respond, reply all.
I know.
Oh my God. Anyway.
And also he said, I just talked to my brother about his response, and he assures me he meant it in the nicest way.
Okay, well, unlike Tucker Carlson, we are...
headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
And I don't know how that went because, like I said, I couldn't change things while I'm recording, and I can't hear any of the sound drops. So, that's great.
It worked.
Maybe I can kind of change something here. Okay. Let me just double check.
That was,
okay.
And I don't say this lightly,
worse than 100 September 11th. Okay, and that's speaking of
that's the show.
Previous episode. Episode 40, one that will go down in the annals of history, not annals. If history has a butthole, then that's where the show goes. So, I was talking to you before this, I'm heated, right? Over something that happened 7 years ago.
Well, when you put it like that.
Yeah, no, so it's just because I like music. That's the show.
Ooh, unpopular opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I like music a lot. But I just learned today, because I like music, I generally don't give a single fleck of a piece of shit about the Grammys, right? But still, it can still get under my skin. And still, especially outside of like the big album of the year thing, lots of stuff is great. And people get recognition for things. It's just not the big things. It's interesting. I forget where I read it, but there are great breakdowns of all of the absolute misses for album of the year that the Grammys have done for like the last 40 years, where like you go through the list and they say the album of the year and they're like, you know what should have won now that we look back on it 30 years later.
Yeah.
And the albums that got snubbed are like, oh my God, you just take a playlist of these snubs and it's some of the greatest music made in the last half century or something. It's crazy how much they get it wrong.
Is there a common denominator with these wrong ones?
Well, yeah, part
Maybe
of
in this example,
part of the reason, that I got brought up. There is a kind of a white hegemonic thing going on here. Yeah, but also, because of this, I was watching Ro Ramden's new video, who I recommend to everyone. I absolutely love their content. Really funny, fast-paced, stream of consciousness, absurd humor with all this stuff, and some really deep, good sometimes heartwarming or gut-wrenching commentary. It's really great. I've seen her on Noah Samson in the background before. They're friends, I guess. But anyway, I had said that I was today years old when I learned that in 2016, Taylor Swift's album 1989 won Album of the Year over beating out To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, where's that drop?
Yeah, or more like
Fucking stupid F-word bitch.
yeah.
Seriously.
But like, not only, I mean, and I like music. I'm definitely not totally one that's just like, ooh, if it's pop music, it's garbage. Like, no, not like that. I mean, Taylor Swift has made some decent music for sure, here and there. I'm never like a big fan of these types of people or anything, but regardless, I mean, number one, regardless of how good Taylor Swift's album may or may not have been, To Pimp a Butterfly was a landmark album, like, agreed upon one of the greatest hip-hop albums ever produced. Like, just straight up. Like, I remember when it came out, listening to it 1,000 times and thinking, like, I mean, I am just, I'm just this guy, I mean, I'm just some fucking white guy from rural America, but I like music, I make music, I know music, and I'm like, this is I listened to a lot of hip hop, like, and older hip hop too, especially because I'm a white guy. I'm a quote unquote white guy that loves hip hop. So in other words, I have to listen to early to mid 90s East Coast rap. But anyway, I mean, but on top
Also,
of that,
did you know
1989 isn't even Taylor Swift's best album? It's a piece of shit. I don't get it. I hate that album. I've heard a lot of it. It sucks.
The To Pimp a Butterfly, I'm pretty sure also
I need to take
won like a Pulitzer or something like that. Let's see. Oh, he won it for Damn. But he's a
Damn's really good
he's
too.
a Pulitzer Prize winning artist, and you're gonna tell me that Taylor Swift's album is better than his? Wrong.
Like, just wrong. Like, not even. It's funny. Ro Ramden brought it up in the video. There's so many different things you can look at. Because there's different ways of judging what would make something the album of the year. But she was like, going off of like, let's just look at aggregate critic scores and stuff like that. Out of all the albums that were nominated, and a couple of them, I was like, oh, that was that year. That was a good album. Alabama Shakes, Sound and Color. That's a good album. I don't see it as album of the year quality, but it's great.
Not better than To Pimp a Butterfly.
No, yeah, exactly. And
that's like the
and
that
it's
seems
better
like
than 1989.
Ideal of what a
art
best album of the year album would be.
It was
that is
art.
like that.
Yes, but even
by a Pulitzer Prize winning artist.
Yeah,
like that's high.
Literally,
like, I mean,
living the American dream.
When you're talking about genre bending and like being like someone who's like in the field and what is it called when you're like have an imagination, like
creative.
No,
the creative field.
Stop
talking about a black person being in the field, Natalie. God damn. Jeez.
When you're an innovator, you're
Yeah.
like innovating and like really changing things and doing things really different. What would be different about Taylor Swift's album? That's like, I mean, it's pop. So you have to be like pretty. Really good fucking pop to be out of the just regular this is good pop music.
Even the Taylor Swift fan that was the subject of this video, who was, oh my gosh, it was enraging. It was so enraging. But anyway, even that fan, like their thing about like she brought the 80s back with that album, and it's like, what? That's not what that out like. Even if that were the case, that's still not good enough. But also, no, she didn't. It's just called 1989. That's the year she was born.
That's what I thought.
And I was like,
it
it
what does
doesn't.
that mean?
Its pop music doesn't sound 80s at all. I listen to a lot of 80s music. But anyway, even the aggregated critic scores out of all of the nominated ones, there was the Weeknd. I think was in the low to mid 80s. Sound and Color, Alabama Shakes was like 80 or 79.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's 1989 was like a 76.
74. Yeah.
And To Pimp a Butterfly, it was a 98. It's a seminal landmark milestone of an album.
It's incredibly
so mad. But,
even the stuff like the interludes with his like what is he saying? The thing is like meeting
jazz.
Lucifer and stuff
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff. And 1989 over that. I mean, have I listened to that album? No. Do I need to know that it's not as good as To Pimp a Butterfly? Also, no. It's like not even a question. There's no
I have listened
way.
to it.
I've listened
no.
to Taylor Swift songs, and there's nothing that I would be like, whoa, this is like transformative. Oh my God. This is Taylor Swift? Are you serious? There's no any of her songs would I be like,
and it's
I'd be like, maybe,
fine.
yeah, this is a fun song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her stuff gets stuck in my head. I'm like, sure, whatever. It's music. But
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
give
my
her
bar.
that. It's music.
Yeah.
And she writes her own songs, and that's cool. You don't see
Fine.
that all the time.
whatever.
But
I
it's
just
like,
feel
you know
like
who else
she's
writes
so
their own
incredibly
songs?
overrated.
Every fucking rapper that's ever cracking the top 40. Like, duh.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I just can't imagine listening to that album start to finish and being like, whoa, that was so good.
Yeah.
Maybe being like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a good album.
Yeah.
But let's
And it's
put on
not.
something else.
That's the thing. It's not even her best work. I mean, some of it is like straight up cringe. Like, I can't believe that. Like, it's funny because I don't really follow the album of the year stuff. And that's why I just learned that today. I was like, wait, that one? Because even I remember it being a little polarizing then when people were like, no, it's great. And people
Me
were like,
too.
nah,
I
it
didn't
kind of
hear
fell
of it as
flat,
a-
and stuff. Like, it was a critic score of like a C plus,
yeah.
C plus.
Fine. It's yeah. It's like fine. It's fine. But it must have obviously been really popular, so I guess it just all
Yeah, but
that seems like
doesn't always do it with album of the year. I mean, and it should.
and like what a
for
swing
sure.
and a miss for the Grammys to not like who judges who awards them, because it's like you're gonna pick this rap album or this like white girl. Like, I mean, even for their own optics, if you're being cynical like that, because they obviously don't care about the quality of the music, then like who are you?
Was it?
I don't think you're gonna get any
2016?
more
Now
people on your.
Now I'm
your
wondering
side.
if I'm getting this right. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, most nominations. Kendrick Lamar with 11. Most awards. Kendrick Lamar with 5. And let's see. Oh, come on. I thought this would be a lot easier.
They just couldn't let a black man sweep the Grammys.
Nominated Record of the Year, Uptown Funk. Yeah. Yeah, there's some good stuff there too. Uptown Funk, that's a good song of the year. Thinking Out Loud, Ed Sheeran,
Oh, yeah.
Blank Space, Taylor Swift. Can't Feel My Face, The Weeknd. Oof, that was
that's-
big.
yeah.
but
Uptown Funk is a really fun song too.
but yeah, album of the year 1989, Taylor Swift. Sound and Color, Alabama Shakes, To Pimp a Butterfly. Chris Stapleton, man, that was his huge height.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his album Traveler, and then The
I like that
Weeknd, Beauty Behind the Madness. Ew. Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud won Song of the Year.
Over Uptown Funk?
And on top of that, so I opened up. Yeah, well, I mean, no, Uptown Funk won Record of the Year. I don't know how they do these,
that's
but
different. Oh.
Song of the Year was Thinking Out Loud.
What was it up against? Song of the Year? Does it say?
I don't know. All Right, Pharrell Williams. who is? I don't remember these songs.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Oh, because Song of the Year gets awarded to the songwriters. Yeah, because Blank Space, written by Max Martin,
so it's not about
Shellback,
how
and Taylor
good the song
Swift.
is. It's about the lyrics.
I don't know. All right. Oh, duh. Okay, because I'm like, who is this? I'm like, oh, it's from To Pimp a Butterfly. So thinking out loud, I'm gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be all right.
Oh, such a great song. Oh my god.
And Sam Smith won
No,
over that?
Ed Sheeran. So
I mean, or whatever.
yeah, who fucking cares? No, wait, no, we're not going to be those anti-pop people.
No, I like
but
good pop music. I actually like Sam Smith.
Yeah, and I like
Some
when it's like
stuff.
best new artist. Sometimes that's great. But yeah, pop. Let's see, dance, electronic stuff. Skrillex with Justin Bieber. Ew. Anyway, I got to stop reading this. So then it got my blood boiling again when I opened up the New York Post, as one does.
As you are wont to do.
As I am wont to. No, I am not. But I do it for some reason.
Yeah. For you people.
Just kind of scrolling through, and I forgot that. What the heck? I had the article opened up here. I forgot.
The New York Post
it
has
even
a
got
great website,
mentioned.
so.
Yeah. I have to open it in my porn viewing browser with that ad blocking stuff on it. That's the only way I
otherwise
read the New York
unreadable.
Post.
Yeah.
It's true. I had learned about the Ed Sheeran copyright debacle from R.M. Brown. He had mentioned that, I think, on Friday or last week at some point. And of course, once again, a songwriter is being sued by the estate of Marvin Gaye. I don't know
I knew it.
what is wrong with these people, why they want to
you know what? I don't know.
trash his legacy.
What's going on? Nice.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's get it on. Well,
Nice.
Ed Sheeran's thing, they're saying he lifted something from Let's Get It On. So
I think that
but
this
they
family,
already-
what they really need is some sexual healing.
yeah. Oh, well, they think they need more money somehow? Like, what the fuck? Like, music, I mean, it's already unfortunate enough that we live in a society, but that we live in an economy. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But that, I mean, I want artists to be paid for their work because we live under capitalism.
Marvin Gaye is dead.
But yeah, the estate of Marvin Gaye did not write any of those fucking songs. And
I know.
yeah, who did they? They got what's his name? Is it Robin Thicke?
Robin Thicke.
Okay, I was gonna say Alan Thicke
For that
is the
song that I was
actor.
like, yeah, I can kind of see it. I mean, I can see
guess,
it once
but
it was
it's like,
pointed out.
Oh my gosh, a
once it was-
funky bass line. Yeah, it's gonna sound like one Marvin Gaye song. Like, come on. Like, and that one
it's
is
a totally different song. Like,
Yes.
I definitely know the song that that it is like a sample almost, but also, isn't that kind of like how music works? Is you're building
Yes.
off of the foundations that you've listened to,
It
and
used
like
to
Marvin
be-
Gaye was unbelievably popular and incredibly influential. He's a
Yeah.
cultural icon, so duh, he's gonna have an influence.
and
what would the point
he's-
be of him making music if no one listened to it?
He's an R&B artist from back in the era where that's how people got popular, was from playing other people's songs. Like how big important music from back then is just known that it's like, well, I mean, that's All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. It's not a Jimi Hendrix song. Bob
Yeah.
Dylan wrote that song.
There
But
was
he
so
had the
much
good
sharing
version.
back then.
Like the Rolling Stones got popular when they were first just touring around playing, R&B / rock and roll. And so they played a lot of other hits and stuff like that. And they do their own spin. That's why prior to this era, this modern era and stuff, there are things called jazz standards that just
Yeah.
people write. Everyone fucking plays them. you know, and
Otis
has their
Redding
own
and
thing.
Aretha Franklin both put out the song Respect. How many people have done Try a Little Tenderness, you know? Like, there's
Yeah.
so many songs. Proud Mary. There's so much more sharing
Bye Bye
before.
Blackbird.
I don't know what kind of...
That's been
Man,
done
there's-
by so
yeah.
many artists and stuff. And now it's just
And yeah,
like
jazz standards are always my example. I'm like, you know how many
Yeah.
versions of Fly Me to the Moon there are?
Yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
a billion?
Blue Skies, stuff like that. Yeah, and it's like, but just this money grubbing, like I can understand.
grab.
Yeah, it's a cash grab. I mean, and as an artist, no, but as someone who's played music and stuff, or quote unquote written music, like I get it. Like
music?
I, you know, I hear. It bothers me. I hear like pop music where they just use an older song and then it becomes popular, and then people are like, yeah, I like that song. It's like, you know, that's Blue by Eiffel 65. It was really popular in 1999. They're like, oh, I didn't know that. It's like, it's literally the song. They just reuse it. They have permission.
Like, I'm Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die?
Yeah, there's a song that
That's a
does.
song out now?
Yeah, it was from like last year. Sophie really liked it. I was like, what the heck? And I was like,
course.
oh my God. Yeah, and
Because
it's
that's a
like,
great song.
yeah, it's because dun, 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 dun. I mean, that like melody is
Yeah.
just used, and I'm sure that's with permission because of copyright issues, but that almost gets me more where it's just like, it just seems like a fucking stock investment in a song where it's like, well, this works.
Yeah.
It's just like the musical version
It's
of
not creative.
like how it's all Star Wars and superhero movies, you know, because it works, and so they can just plug in things. And that's been more and more over the past decade or something. Like, you suddenly hear, we're old enough to be like,
Oh, yeah.
that song came out in like 1996. Like, what the fuck? And it's like, it's
Yeah.
just reused. But someone writing their own song, like, and doing something similar, or even completely fucking biting it, in my opinion, and copying it, paying homage to it, and using it in a different song, there should be nothing wrong with that. Like,
I agree.
the only difference in those two situations is that two fucking record labels gave each other permission to make money off of these artists. That's the only difference. Like, it's so gross. Like, that has
It
nothing to
is.
do with music.
That is gross. I'm imagining these executives just like handing cash like back and forth to each other.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
well, you use this for
While
this, and
people
you
are
use this
like-
for this, and like,
Yeah, while there's musicians just like getting strung out on drugs and like pouring their heart into music and touring and bleeding fingers and, you know, getting divorced and stuff.
Yeah.
Like for their
Like,
for
what am
their
I doing with
music,
my
and then
life?
someone's like,
Yeah.
sure, yeah, you know, with this royalty fee, you can chop out that melody and use it because that's mine because I'm the record company. Like, yeah, it's just a whole fucking thing. It's
yeah,
gross.
record companies and intellectual property and all of that has always bothered me. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a really weird thing to own those kinds of things, like that become a
to
part of
own
the culture. Like how,
ideas.
and Disney is such a really good example of that. How they really, you know, they own their stuff. Like, well, now Mickey Mouse original Steamboat Willie or whatever, isn't he? Like,
he's gonna
becoming,
become public
because
domain.
so many other things are like
Did you
in
see that on
perpetuity,
John
like
Oliver?
forever. Yeah. And it just seems weird, like that you just get to keep owning it, especially things like, yeah, Marvin Gaye. Walt Disney's fucking dead, you know? Like, these people, like, anything that they had a hand in, like, it just seems weird. I'm like, man, all these movies from the 90s, they should all be free. Like, all of these things
Yeah.
they're just part of, like, the public's, like, we paid for them by watching them originally and making them popular. It's all part of, like, the fabric of our society
Yeah.
now. And then you have to be, and you know,
Intellectual property as a money-making tool that's being passed down to other people, I think is wrong. Like even if you could say, I mean, because there's the argument like, well, someone created something. If it's just like if they had a business idea, made this business, and made all this money for their kids, for future generations. Like, that's a thing, you know, in how we live our lives. It's hard to,
Sure.
not want people to be able to do that. It's either all or nothing, in my opinion. Either that doesn't exist at all for anyone, and as soon as you die, literally all of your wealth is liquidated.
And if we lived in a nicer
pure
society, then it wouldn't be such a
yeah.
it wouldn't be such a fucking problem for your parents to have to leave something for you because you already had a nice life.
Exactly, yeah.
But-
so that would have, we'd need large sweeping systemic changes for that to happen. So you want people to be able to leave something for their future generations because they fucking labored for it. But
Sure,
like,
of course.
but for the idea itself, for intellectual property or music especially, it just bugs me. But like,
It's art. I mean,
like someone else did that though. Like if Marvin Gaye wanted to take that money that he made from that song while he was
invest it,
alive and put it in a bank account, then you get it. There you go. You don't get to keep
what I
making
think.
money
Yeah.
off of it. You didn't write the
know.
song.
And you know what's annoying? People
what?
owning, like record companies or like like Universal Studios, like studios and stuff owning movies or producers
Yeah.
or whatever. You know the worst thing about this Harvey Weinstein guy is that now I can't
The
watch
hypocrisy.
Dogma on anything. No, because it won't be released because he would be making money off of it or whatever. Like,
Oh, are you serious?
Dog.
I was
Yes,
just talking
like
about
you
that
cannot
movie the
get
other
it on
day
a
with
stream.
Dad.
I just watched it with Zach.
Really?
Actually, because he had a version.
It reminded
of
me
it,
of
so-
Zach because he had me watch
we watched
that movie.
it last week.
It's a good movie. It's
and,
fun.
It's a great movie. It's really fun, and I was really annoyed that there couldn't be like, oh, what? So we could just start taking people's property away? And I'm like, yeah. Fucking no. Harvey Weinstein's not going to
Yes.
make any more money off of his movies. He's a rapist, guys.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we allow for some sort of, what I would say, common sense to this capitalist structure? But that's what it comes down to, is that capitalism has no fucking morals or anything like that, because we couldn't just agree as a society that when people do things like that, maybe some of their stuff, they lose. It's not a right, because it's not a right, I don't know, to make money off some film that you help produce, whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
That you literally
no,
just
like,
invested money into.
yeah, like why? And you know who loses out is the people that it was actually created for.
Yeah.
Like those things, it doesn't matter if you make a movie if no one fucking sees it,
Ugh.
really. Like you made
Well,
it, but so
I don't know. It doesn't matter if you make a podcast if no one listens to it.
I mean, you
But
still
no
put it
one's
out there.
taking that from us. But
It just seemed, yeah. That's what a fucking privileged thing
racket.
I'm
No.
talking about.
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
I'd
it's
be like, oh my gosh, I can't watch this movie that I want to
no,
watch.
it's just
but
it's a totally valid example. That makes. I mean, I don't know. There's. Yeah,
And,
it
like-
seems common sense that could be punitive.
if you get put in jail for rape
Yeah.
or prison for rape, you don't get to make any more money off of the movies you help produce.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Oops. Yeah, is that too much to ask?
They'll take away poor black people's right to vote when they're in jail in Florida, but
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein would keep making money from a movie
Yeah,
that he
you
made
have the
in
right to make-
1996 or something. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's
it came out
America
later than
for
that,
you.
But anyway,
It was 1997 or something like that.
Oh, dang.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty
It was one of the two,
close.
but it was definitely worth
I mean,
a
Alanis
rewatch.
Morissette was in it, so it was in the 90s, I'm guessing. So
It was very fun.
Yeah.
Like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck
Oh,
together. It's the only time I really ever liked Ben Affleck, so it's quite a fun ride. And
no, you
George,
said that his Batman was
Carlin-
your favorite Batman.
I never said that. George Carlin is
Okay,
like
Natalie.
the bishop or whatever.
that's the
He's
first thing
so
that comes to
funny.
mind
I
for
totally
me.
forgot about Buddy Christ. I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
their whole campaign where they're like trying to appeal to the youth, so they have a statue of Jesus like winking and smiling and like finger guns. It's
Yeah.
Buddy Christ.
I know.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
so
someone
funny.
who has a tattoo of that, but Buddha. It's like
Nice.
a buddy
Buddy
Buddha.
Buddha.
Yeah, exactly.
Buddha, my buddy.
Man, splitting up. I mean, recording these episodes more often, and yeah, cutting them short. Really, I feel like it just flies by. Like man. So, did you have anything else to say, just in general? Because we had some... I have some things written down, and we have some feedback from the audience. No, but I wrote on one, I'm changing my name to Max Volume. I think, but then underneath it, I wrote, no, I'm changing my name to Klutz B. Turgid.
What a horrible name, and to look at. I bet that's a really ugly... Klutz B. Turgid. Like,
it's pronounced Klutz, but it's still pronounced Turgid.
Yeah,
like Buck Turgidson.
Chuck Burgidson.
From okay, let's see. Let me go and see who. Okay, from user Flunk Gristle. No, not really, because we have so many people.
Flunk Gristle.
I thought of this today too, as well as Flunk Gristle 99. R.M. Brown in just today's episode was pointing out once again conservatives with these huge YouTube channels and high subscriber numbers, where it's like they just bought
a million
bought subscribers
and 24,000 views.
Like how Charlie Kirk consistently gets fewer views on his videos than RM Brown does, and RM Brown just barely passed 50,000 subscribers. But I don't think it's just that. Like, of course, there's some chicanery going on here, or just buying subscriptions, but also Flunk Gristle says oh wait, no, this wasn't Flunk Gristle. Oh, it's
Who's Grunk
Finagle Scruffy 24.
Oh.
No, it said the other reason right-wing content creators have big subscriber numbers but low view counts is because these people don't actually like watching them. It's actually just...
How could
it's
you?
just online virtue signaling to be publicly subscribed. Like, yep, it's just supporting them. Is like, these are the people that I'm subscribed to. It's like, but they don't... I mean, I religiously follow the people that I subscribe to. I love it.
Yeah.
I love their content. That's why I'm subscribed. That's why I just watched Ro Ramden's new video, why I just watched Nick is Not Green's new video. Noah Sampson put something out yesterday that was great. And of course, I watch R.M. Brown every fucking day. And
you're like a member of their communities. But these people are just being like, oh, I watch Michael Knowles and I watch Charlie Kirk, and they can say it because they subscribe to it. Yeah. And they're like, so they just see the titles of things.
It's like D'Angelo Wallace just came back from being off of YouTube for like 9 months, and just everyone was so excited that he came back with another video that he had like 1.4 million views on his new video in like 2 days or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's great, and he's a great content creator. It's like, and people that I don't watch their stuff and I realize I don't really like their content as much, if it pops up, I'm like, oh yeah, and it's just unsubscribe, like, because I don't need it. I mean, because I watch these other people. Like,
don't fill up my feed.
There's got to be something to that, because it's way less than like Twitter, where, I mean, you craft your bubble. You know, it's all, Twitter is online bubble crafting. Online bubble crafting
Liberals.
Software. But but when you do that and you follow these sets of people, that's what Twitter is for you now. Twitter is that, at least if you're in your following feed, not in the For You page. I don't go back to that anymore.
I heard it's all Nazis.
Yeah, I mean, it is for me, and it's like, it's because I hate Nazis. And so Twitter's like, well, here's something you'll engage with. It's just 3 pages of Sneeko, Ian Miles Chong, Andrew Tate,
Roy Dunk.
the only reason it isn't
Paul Buffano.
the only reason it isn't Elon Musk constantly is because I haven't blocked, so he doesn't show up in my feed. But But yeah, it's Twitter. When you do that and it's following, that creates the entire experience. It's just that's what's happening in your feed, But
that's Twitter.
Yeah, that's Twitter. It is
Not good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, I haven't been able to hear the soundboard, but I'll just say
That was a really nice one. Thanks, Inane Blather.
thank you,
Aw,
RM
what a
Brown.
guy.
He's like, yo, yeah, that's right, because this show is hosted by two,
Head bonked individuals.
yes, HBIs.
HBI, baby.
Two HBIs on a show called... Oh, it didn't work.
Inane Blather.
There we go.
Called Dead Air.
Called,
yeah.
This is the worst music I've ever heard. Honestly, this is like truly offensive.
That goes more in line with what we were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
To Pimp a Butterfly was good, but 1989?
This is the worst music I've ever heard.
Nice.
Okay, so if we're going to cut it off,
Well,
anything?
thanks, RM Brown.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Zach. And Amy and Ryan and Kelsey and Umberto and everyone.
Yeah, all these people that have nothing better to do with their lives.
Oh, well, I mean,
Thank
I
you
wouldn't recommend
so
just
much.
listening to it. Can you imagine one of our friends just sitting there and listening to it without doing something else at the same time? Oh,
Oh,
just
God.
today,
I would
Wendy said, she
feel
was like, yeah,
worried
it was
for
great
them.
because it was kind of, I like your guys' voices. And I just sat there doing work and it just kind of washed over me. I was like, good. Because don't listen to what we're saying.
Like a dull roar, that you kind of just get used to.
Yeah,
So-
just screeching idiots. Yeah, the sound and the fury. That's
That's us.
Faulkner.
Haven't seen it.
Not good.
Okay, well, this episode was worse than 100 September 11th, and
As we all
have
know.
you, the listener, to thank for that. We love you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.